and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. I hope everybody has had a fantastic week thus far. In this class, we are doing an IELTS Task 2 essay for the academic version of the exam, but Task 2s are very similar between the academic and the general versions. Jaskaran, hi, nice to see you in class. I see Sheng Hung just joined in as well. This is a members chat class. Of course, everybody is welcome to watch and learn. We will have an all chat class coming up in 90 minutes that will focus on reading. Again, in this class, we are looking at a Task 2 writing essay. While we wait for some more of our members to join in, just a quick preamble. These lessons are brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS preparation. Check us out there. And for the general version, check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. And right now, for the next couple days, we still have this fantastic Black Friday deal going on. You get a 40% discount when you use the code BLKFDAY, so Black Friday, BLKF Day, during the checkout. Hi, Ivan. Hi, Hassan. Good to see a couple more members in the class. We're almost there. This is the academic website here, aehelp.com. You can click that big red button to join the premium package. Once you do, you get the My Student account that you can enter by clicking this top button here. And then you get access to all of our wonderful products, computer-based exams, fully interactive course, lesson videos, much, much more. And then for the general, it's this green background here. Click that big red button to join there. Hi, Roshni. Good to see more of our members coming on board. Fantastic. Also search for our app, Academic IELTS Help. Our general IELTS Help app is out. We're just waiting for Google to populate the store with it, so you should be able to search for that, maybe even now. If you have questions about the exam, general or the academic, or about our products, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will get back to you in a timely fashion. Okay, so students, Task 2, start for members today. Again, reading coming up after. Here is the question that we are tackling. Hi, Kesey. Nice to see more members in the class. Here we go, students. First of all, of course, we always want to read the question carefully. It's even a good idea to read this. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task just to remind you to keep an eye out for the time, okay? Don't get lost in your ideas. Make sure that you time yourself and you don't spend more than 40 minutes on this task. Now, if you do need to spend a couple more minutes to check your work, you're not sure about a part of your conclusion or one of your body paragraphs, it is a better idea to steal a couple minutes, 1 or 2 minutes from your task 1 if you find that you're weaker in task 2. That means try to finish your task 1 a little bit faster so you have a couple extra minutes for task 2. Okay, task 2 is worth more than task 1. All right, let's read the question. So, there are millions of counterfeit products bought and sold each year worldwide, including fake brand name shoes, electronics, and cosmetics. What are the reasons for this, and what are the solutions? Okay. An interesting question. What type of task 2 question is this? So there are different types of persuasive task 2 questions. Some of them ask you to agree or disagree. Some ask you to discuss both sides. Some ask you to discuss the advantages, disadvantages. What kind of a task 2 is this one? Okay, so Shanghung says it's a solution question. That's right. So it is Shanghung. Beyond that, what kind of a question is this? It's important that you recognize that you're dealing with this kind of question right away. So Shanghung says it's a solution. So reasons and solutions. Essay, sure. So you've recognized that. It's a double question, Roshni. Yeah, so 2 questions. You have to pay attention to both. Okay. What else do we need to recognize about this? Okay, of course, it's a persuasive essay. What else? Yeah, it's a cause and solution, Hassan. It is also what's called an open-ended question or an open question. Okay, open question means there are many possible answers. So when you have this kind of open question, like what are the reasons for this and what are the solutions, what do you have to do? What's an important strategy to keep in mind when you're dealing with an open-ended question? And especially on the IELTS exam where you only have 40 minutes and you need to write minimum 250 words, it's very important to have this strategy in mind so that you're successful on this task when you realize that it's an open-ended question. What should you do? You should immediately start thinking in this way to help you. Anybody remember? Kisi says, answer all the questions. Yes, certainly, Kisi, you want to answer both of those questions. But how do you come up with an effective answer? Okay. What do you have to think about? What I'm trying to lead you towards, the idea, is for this type of question, focus on the popular and easy answers. Okay, so to put it another way, think, what would 9 from 10 people answer to these questions? Importantly, do not try to give a fancy answer. Okay, the IELTS is not the place to try to give some kind of really fancy answer. In this case, maybe come up with some kind of a political reason for having so many counterfeit products. Okay, so try to think about the number 1 answer for this question. Okay, and number 2 answer. So we've read the question. Try to paraphrase it. So paraphrase this question for me, members. Okay, write your paraphrase. So rewrite the question in your own words. All right. There is my paraphrase. Hopefully, some of our students are coming up with their own. So, there are millions of knockoff merchandise on the market globally every annum, like fake brand name footwear, technology, and makeup. What has led to this, and how can this be fixed? Okay, so this sentence, or these two sentences, are exactly the same as these two sentences using different words expressing the same idea. So this is an effective paraphrase. Another way to say counterfeit is knockoff merchandise. I think it might be hyphenated. I'd have to check into that. Notice how quantitative language is tricky. You can't really paraphrase it at times. So just stay with the same. So there are millions. There are millions. You can say there's a lot or many, but that's not quite an accurate paraphrase when you use the word millions. So there are millions of knockoff merchandise instead of products, bought and sold. We can just simply say on the market, worldwide, globally, each year, every annum. Okay. Including fake, like fake. Brand name shoes. Another way to say shoes is footwear, right? We might think in the immediate that shoes, you cannot paraphrase it, but certainly most of these words do have some matching synonyms. Paraphrasing is a fantastic way to improve your English for the IELTS exam to get those higher band scores, right? Yvonne says there are innumerable fake goods purchased every year all over the world, such as shoes, electronic devices, and makeup. Yeah, good. Yvonne, makeup, when we're talking about the object, right, cosmetics, then that's definitely hyphenated. Okay, so makeup, like that. The phrasal verb makeup has a different meaning. It means to make peace with someone. If you had a fight with your brother and you make up afterwards, it means that you find peace between the two of you. So makeup has a few different definitions in English. Careful with that one. Sheng Hung says, uncountable fake products are sold around the globe every year, such as fake brand name boots, technology, and beauty products. Why does this phenomenon happen, and how can it be solved? Yeah, the second sentence there, Sheng Hung, is a little bit awkward, so careful with that one. Hassan says, nowadays millions of fake products are sold on markets. What is the main reason behind this phenomenon, and how can we tackle such a problem? Good, Hassan. Nice paraphrasing, members. Again, you've really come into your own when it comes to expressing your ideas using your own words. It's fantastic. Kisi says there are millions of fake merchandise trading on the market internationally, such as forged brand name shoes, gadgets, and makeup. What are the causes and solutions? Very nice, Kisi. Yeah, a forgery is another way to say a fake, right? When you forge something. So very good. Nice, Kisi. Some nice use of vocabulary. And of course, one of your categories for your band score in the IELTS exam is your lexical resource, right? And that's not by accident. The better command you have of vocabulary, the more you can express yourself and the better you can communicate when you use it effectively. Good. So now we identify the topic of this question. Okay. And the topic is, what's the topic? Okay, what are we talking about? What is the question focusing on? Again, members, especially those of you who have been with me for a while, hopefully you're getting quite fast at identifying the topic, using critical thinking to analyze the topics, the controlling ideas. Okay, so yes, when you're identifying the topic, members, students, I definitely recommend staying with the original question. So don't paraphrase, okay? Don't paraphrase the topic. Use the original question. Okay, so here the topic in this case then is counterfeit products. Okay, and what are these? So what are counterfeit products? Give me a definition of that. The topic is not the reason, Jessica Run. The reasons and the solutions, that will be the controlling ideas. Yeah, so Shang Hung says it's counterfeit products. And what are counterfeit products? What are they? And this is where, again, it's common for students to think, oh, it's intuitive, it's easy to know what a counterfeit product is or what the topic is about. But then when they stop and they start thinking about it, then they realize, wait a second, it's not quite as clear as I thought. I have to define this. So what is the definition, right? You have to think about, if I typed the word counterfeit or counterfeit products into Google and ask for a definition, what definition would Google give me? Okay, so NA says products manufactured to look like the original, but not. Okay, yeah. So that's what I would write. Okay. So products that imitate the original brand and sold as such, right? It's a little bit complex the way I wrote it. Maybe you'll write it another way, a simpler way. But basically, it's not just an imitation product, but it's an imitation that is sold as if it were the original product. Sometimes you see counterfeit products where they're like, okay, it's fake, and they tell you it's a fake Nike shoe. It's just meant to look like the original. That's not truly a counterfeit, okay? That's different. What is it called when, so here's an interesting question for you as we go into this. So what is a product that is a copy of the original and sold as a copy and not an original? Let's see who comes up with the right answer here. So this one, when you sell the fake as the original, it's called a counterfeit product. Okay, just like counterfeit money. There's another type of product that's a copy of the original and it's sold as a copy. It's not the original. They'll tell you that it looks like the original, but it's not. It's much cheaper and it's sold as such. What is that called? There's a name for that as well. Okay, we don't call those counterfeit. Anybody know what that's called? You can say copy, of course, that's an easy way, but in English we choose a different word. Oftentimes, there's two words that we'll choose to describe this second type of product. It's not a dummy, Roshni. A dummy is closer to a counterfeit than this one. Okay? It's not a second copy. It's not a forge. Shanghung, a forge is much more a counterfeit. Okay? Forgery is a counterfeit. Forgery is a synonym for this. Okay? This type of product is called either a replica or a reproduction. Okay? Those are the two terms that we use for that kind of product. So I can say that, oh, here you have the original Air Jordans, but these are just replica shoes, or these are reproductions. They're not the original manufacturing line, okay? So they're called replica or reproduction. So you have to be careful here when you go into an essay like this and make sure that you don't go off topic, because one mistake that I'm sure many students could make Refurbish is different, Hassan. Refurbish is when you take the original, which is in bad condition, and then you rebuild it to look new. That's called refurbished. Okay? Sometimes with modifications. So refurbish is another different situation, Hassan. It's a good question. Again, my fear with this kind of question on the IELTS exam is that many students might accidentally begin writing an essay that's targeting a replica or a reproduction rather than a counterfeit. Okay? So you have to be very careful. Of course, a big difference is that a counterfeit product is illegal. Okay? International laws make counterfeit products illegal. Reproductions and replicas are often legal. Okay? So if a student writes an essay that starts to go off on these replicas or reproductions, you'll start to lose band scores because you're off topic. So you have to make sure you're focusing on counterfeit. Okay, so what are counterfeit products? They're products that imitate the original and sold as such, so sold as if they were the original. Why do they exist? That's the next question. So why do counterfeit products exist? What do you think? So why do some people and some companies say, hey, let's make some counterfeit products, some counterfeit shoes, iPhones, Apple computers, Adidas clothing? Why do some companies do that? So what's the logic? What's the So here, now we're getting into the controlling idea as well, right? So what are the reasons for counterfeit products? Okay, so this is where students, you will really want to think quickly and think, what would 9 from 10 people say, right? So Yvonne says, to provide brand names for cheaper, yeah, to customers. Okay, that's definitely one reason. I'm sure that they exist. Yeah, Shang Hung, nice one. Yeah, to make a profit without the overhead. Yeah, to make profit without the overhead of R&D or marketing, right? Marketing is a huge part of it. Absolutely. Very good, Shang Hung. As the idiom goes, you've put your thumb on it. Definitely. Kesey, I like it. So Kesey says it's cheap with vanity. So, hey, look at my Adidas shoes, but they're not really Adidas. So provide brand names to customers for cheaper and vanity. Okay, for those of you who are not sure what that means, vanity is pride. When a person is proud and they can shine their or show their ego that they have something luxurious. Okay. All right, and there's another really good response there. Just Karan says, because these kinds of products are in big demand. Yeah. So okay, sure. What's my next question? What should I ask before I go on? So now I have the what, I have the why. We've identified definitely some of the top ranking reasons and logic behind it, I'm sure. R&D, Roshni, is research and development. Okay, good question. R&D, it's a very common acronym these days. It's research and development. Okay, that is R&D. Yeah, anytime you have questions, remember, students, just throw it out there. Yeah. Yeah, so Shang Hung says, how do fake products come about? Okay, so how do they come into existence? Let's use a little bit better vocabulary. Fake is okay, but counterfeit and forge, those are the better words. So how do forged products come into existence? Okay, that's a good question. And how can we see them as well, right? So examples, excellent. And what's the answer to this? So how do these fake products come into existence? What are some examples of such counterfeit products? Okay. So Shangung says they sell the same products with low prices. Customers cannot recognize the difference. Sure, that's an okay definition, Shanghung. I think there might be a few better definitions. Roshni says, how are these fake products sold? That's a good question to ask as well, Roshni, or include in your conceptualization. So I would say original products are reverse engineered and manufactured in secret factories. Then products are shipped worldwide and sold as if they were the original. So that's how they come about, right? And they're actual people that specialize in what's called reverse engineering of products so that they can copy them. Okay. Yeah, so Kisi says they buy the real product, they reverse engineer it, then they replicate it, and then they sell it as the original worldwide. And what are some examples? So examples, Nike shoes, iPhone. I don't know if iPhones are replicated. That might be a bit tricky, but quite possibly. Actually, yes, I have heard that there are iPhone knockoffs as well. So let's go iPhone. Here, you can use your imagination. It doesn't have to be reality. The IELTS exam will not check. But when there are so many real examples of knockoff products around the world, I'm sure you can come up with a few genuine examples. Levi's jeans clothing is very, very commonly, I think that's how you spell Levi's, is very commonly forged. Yeah, maybe like that, Levi's jeans in the clothing industry. Remember the original question. It says shoes, electronics, makeup. So you might want to give examples of that. Okay. Makeup, CoverGirl, makeup. Okay. So those are some examples. Yeah, so Yvonne says, buy the original item, take it apart. Taking it apart, Yvonne, is part of that reverse engineering, and then replicate it for wholesale. Yeah, in factories. Absolutely. Okay, what should I do next? What's my next step? So I've gone through the critical thinking. Now I have a really good idea about the topic. Okay, again, hi Preeti, welcome to the class. Again, this what, why, how about the topic. So from this point forward where we're thinking critically about the topic, all of this information should be rolling through your mind in a matter of 1 minute. Okay, it should be very fast. At home, you should practice writing it down. In the official exam, this should be happening very, very quickly, 1 minute time, okay? Shang Hung says, yeah, focus on the controlling idea. So the controlling idea is what are the reasons, what are the solutions? Now, the reasons we already have, so we don't need to repeat that, okay? So the reasons for these counterfeit products, we already identified that when we thought about the why for the topic, right? So it's easy to sell to customers at a cheaper price. Customers can still get the same vanity. The producer doesn't have to invest in research and development, marketing, and there's obviously a large market demand that has been created by the original brand. So we know that question. So then what question remains for the controlling idea? There's a question that remains. What's the question that we need to ask and answer before we write the thesis? So there's a question here, and then we can write the thesis after. Always keep the original question in mind. Preeti will go back to it so you can check it out as well. So here's the original question again. There are millions of counterfeit products bought and sold each year worldwide, including fake brand name shoes, electronics, and cosmetics. What are the reasons for this? And what are the solutions? Okay. So what's the question that we're missing so far and the answer? You should have gotten it there as I reread that question. It's not the opinion so much, Hassan. It's the what are the solutions, right? It's the solutions. So what are the solutions to counterfeit products? And what's the answer? So, yeah, there you go, Kisi. So what are the, yeah, there you go, Roshni Amarjeet. So solutions, yeah, what are the solutions? So what are solutions to counterfeit products? Again, keep your thoughts simple here. If you ask 10 people, what do you think most of them would respond logically to this? So what are the solutions to obviously decreasing the number of counterfeit products around the world? What can we do? When I visualize this, there's definitely a couple of clear pictures that come into my mind. Yvonne says, identify the persons who do this. Okay, Yvonne, how? How? Preeti says, ban advertising. I'm not sure how that would help reduce counterfeit products, but possibly. Jaskaran says people can buy products from authorized stores and companies and create awareness about fake products. Amarjeet says create awareness among people. Yeah, I can see that the live stream's buffering a bit. I hope it's clear for you. Shang Hung says the man in charge of the fake company will get an enormous penalty. Right, Shang Hung. So create or establish very strict laws and fines, millions, so 20 years jail and millions of dollars in fines. Sure, so that's one side of the coin. Hi Anur, welcome to our channel membership. I see you have rights to the exclusive videos. Send me an email at the end of class so I can hook you up with perks. So awareness is definitely one. So Roshni says awareness. Awareness is one. Strict rules is another. And enforcing, right? So whenever you want to change a behavior in society, and this is just a good notion to keep in mind for a lot of these task 2 questions, the two aspects that governments or authorities need to think of is establishing the rules or regulations, increasing the fines and the jail time, and of course policing. So increase the policing of this criminal activity, right? So create a special task force or add to the task force. So more policing, more regulation, and stricter laws and fines. And then, as many of you said, increase awareness. So those are the three that come to mind. Okay. Now you have to be careful again because you only have 40 minutes and minimum 250 words. So careful not to try to write too much. And now you can write the thesis. Hi, Anur. There you are. I can see you in the chat now. So you need to be careful not to write too much. I think for this topic, it would be easy to write 1,000 words if you have enough time, but you don't. So you have to focus, okay? Now, before we begin the thesis, one more important question here. What voice should you choose for this essay? Here, let me move this part of the question back here. So when you read this question carefully, and especially if you're sitting for the academic IELTS exam, what should be your voice here? First or third person? Okay. Shang Hung says third person. Roshni, cancel the license doesn't really make sense because they probably never had a license in the first place. So shut down the factory for sure. That would be one part of the strict fines. Onur says first person, but I think third person is better for this one because it doesn't directly ask for your opinion. Okay, so here, if it said, what do you think are the reasons for this? So if it were to say, what do you think the reasons? But it doesn't. It just says, what are the reasons for this? So here, in this case, when we're looking at this sentence, okay, this sentence suggests that it's a third person. Now here, it says use explanations and examples to support your opinion. But the your here is not first person, okay? When it's first person, it will read more like this. So use explanations and examples from your own experience to support your argument. Okay, this would be more of a first person voice when it's asking you to use examples, explanations from your own experience. Here it doesn't say that, it just says use explanations, examples to support your opinion. Is that clear? So is it clear why this is more of a third person voice than a first person voice? Okay, so the wording of this statement and the wording of this question suggests a third person voice. Okay, does that make sense, members? So don't let this your confuse you. Okay. So definitely go with the third person in this case, okay? And of course, that's important. Good, okay, good. I'm happy that's clear. Thank you, Onur. Thank you, Kisi. Amarjeet. Okay, so let's write our thesis statement then. So keep in mind that it's third person. Write a thesis statement, okay? Just a quick review of what we have so far. So topic, counterfeit products. What are they? They're products that imitate the original and sold as if they were the original. Why do we have these counterfeit products? Because it's cheaper for customers while providing vanity. It allows companies to make a profit without having to do research, development, and marketing. And there's a large market demand. Okay. How do they come into existence? Through reverse engineering. Examples are Nike shoes, iPhone, Levi's jeans, CoverGirl makeup. All right. What are the solutions? Establish strict laws, fines, jail time. There has to be more policing, more actual oversight, and increase public awareness. Okay. So use that information to create your third person thesis statement for this question. I'm going to do the same and then we'll compare. Okay. All right. So Shang Hung says, although buying forged products is cheaper and can earn easy money for companies, I believe that governments should establish very strict laws, fines, and increased policing for this criminal activity. Shang Hung, your thesis is first person, so change it to a third person, so no I in this case. And it's overly complex. In this example, you don't need such a complex thesis statement because it's simply asking you, what are the reasons? What are the solutions? Okay. So Hassan says, the rudimentary reason for the availability of fake products in global markets is the price. And the most practical solution for this is imposing strict rules and educating people. Okay, Hassan, that's good. All right, that'll work. So you've got educating people in there as well. You don't even need the about these merchandise, Hassan, because that's understood. So it's understood that you're educating them about the counterfeit black market products. Okay, so that's good. Again, students, remember, use concise and simple language whenever possible. So the main reasons for the numerous counterfeit goods on the global market are easy profit and vanity. Okay, or maybe a little bit more clarity. And cheap vanity, while the solutions are strict laws and regulation. So strict laws and regulation, maybe there as well, a little bit more clarity. Strict laws and more regulation. Okay, so that's my thesis statement. It's third person. It's very clear what my body paragraphs will be about. Okay. Preeti says, fake products are cheaper for customers and profitable for shopkeepers. This should be stopped through public awareness and strict laws. Pretty good. Okay, your grammar is getting a bit better. All right. I would separate that thesis into two sentences. Okay, remember, students, that a thesis does not have to be one sentence. It can be two sentences, okay, or even three. So I would put a period after shopkeepers, Preeti, and use a capital I. It should be stopped through public awareness and strict regulation. And he says the demand for counterfeit products has been increasing consistently due to cheap vanity and easy profits, which could be arrested through strict regulation and awareness. Okay, that works, honey. Good. Onur says, although there are lots of cheap vanity products shipped all over the world, there are some solutions, including public awareness and strict laws. Onur, not bad. Just watch your sentence structure in your grammar. Okay, so I corrected there a little bit in real time. Again, students, some of you are using although to show contrast or opposition. But in this case, I'm not sure if that's the best approach. So you can, okay, you can, but I prefer to avoid it. I just don't think there's a very clear contrast there between the causes and the solutions. Okay, so it's not a contrasting type of situation so much, or not a clear contrast. Kisi says people are buying and selling forged products because these goods fulfill customers' vanity at affordable prices, and companies can make a profit without the overhead. You don't need to go into too much detail, Kisi. The solutions are strict laws and high fines and expensive fines, Kisi, and expensive fines. Okay, good. All right, you're on the right track, students. Again, this is the place, the platform for you to test your words and your sentences and your grammar, so that's great. Rajveer, welcome. I see we have another new member. Rajveer, send me an email at the end of class so I can hook you up later today with your perks as well, just like Onur, okay? For our two new members, the email is simply my name, Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com, okay? Send me an email there with your YouTube handle, your membership level, and I will hook you up with those exclusive videos. All right, so students, introduction. Introduction starts with a hook. So write a hook. I'm going to do the same. Okay. All right, so I went with a little bit of a fancy hook here. Students, only write a fancy hook if you're absolutely sure that you're writing it correctly. Otherwise, just keep your hook simple, okay? So this is my hook here. On a daily basis, it is easy to catch one or two popular brand name products which appear to be the real deal, but they are not, okay? That's kind of a catchy hook. As you develop your communicative style and expressive style in the English language, definitely play around with writing different kinds of hook statements for your essays that are catchy for your reader. Okay? All right. Yvonne says, the issue of piracy has become controversial in contemporary society. Yvonne, in contemporary society, just simple, okay? So the issue of piracy has become an extremely controversial issue in contemporary society. Yvonne, you can up the impact of your hook by using an adjective like extremely controversial, okay? Because it is, right? As we know, it's an extremely controversial issue these days. Rajveer says, millions of fake products have bombarded markets around the globe. Yeah, very good, Rajveer. I would say bombarded markets in plural around the globe. Reads a little bit better. Amarjit says, some companies earn millions of dollars by selling forged products. Very good, Amarjit. Yeah, go for the wallet. Go for that money. Absolutely. That's got punch. It's a very nice hook, Amarjit. That's a band 9 level hook, Amarjit. Just make sure to use a capital S on some. Some illegal companies earn millions of dollars by selling forged products. Okay, very good. Hassan says, astonishingly nowadays, our markets are flooded with counterfeit products. I would use counterfeit there, Hassan. Shanghung says, nowadays people are easily buy unbelievably cheap products online, which turn out to be counterfeit. Okay, Shanghung, good. You're testing your expressive style. Just helped you out a little bit there. Okay. Roshni, internet not so good on your end today. Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's amazing that we can have these live IELTS classes where we're joining each other from different corners of our planet. So thank you, technology. It's gotten us this far. I'm sure it will get us further. All right, students, and then the background. Background is a definition, and here the definition is very important to make sure that your reader knows you're talking about counterfeit and not simply replicas or reproductions, right? So definition and importance. Okay, so here, this part of your introduction, and sometimes students worry, they're like, the introduction's too long, it takes too much time, but it shouldn't. Your introduction should actually go really nice and smooth and fast when you have taken the correct steps for your planning, because most of this information is just coming from these what, why, hows. So here, I'm just going to use the what is counterfeit products and how do these forged products come into existence. So I'm just going to use the what and the how for the topic to create the background for the introductory paragraph. That's all you have to do. Okay, so hundreds of illegal companies reverse engineer popular brand name products and then manufacture fakes which they present to the market as the original. Okay, this practice this unethical. Make sure you use adjectives and adverbs, members, students, when you're writing these, and practice going back. So I was going to just write this practice, but then instead of writing this practice, I realized it's not ethical. So I went back and said this unethical practice, okay? This is where the computer-based exam is a little bit more forgiving. You can go back and add such words a little bit easier when you're typing. So this unethical practice is harmful both to individual customers and society as a whole. Okay, so this is why it's important to discuss this topic, because it's unethical. It harms the customer when they buy a fake product thinking that they bought the original, and it damages society. Okay, so it hurts society. And now all I have to do is just plug in my thesis, and I have clear direction and a solid Band 9 introduction. Okay, so here comes my thesis. Okay, and that's it. So a nice, concise, introductory paragraph. Okay. Read with me. On a daily basis, it is easy to catch one or two popular brand name products which appear to be the real deal, but they are not. Hundreds of illegal companies reverse engineer popular brand name products and then manufacture fakes, which they present to the market as the original. This unethical practice is harmful both to individual customers and society as a whole. The main reason for the numerous counterfeit goods on the global market are easy profit and cheap vanity, while the solutions are strict laws and more regulation. All right, members, that's our introduction. That's our conceptualization. The rest of the essay should flow nice and smooth, and we'll finish that in tomorrow's class. Okay, so as usual, body paragraphs and the conclusion. If you have time today or tomorrow before class, I highly recommend working ahead, writing the 2 body paragraphs, the conclusion, and then being prepared for class and seeing how well you were able to develop your thoughts, okay? All right, everyone, that's it for this class. Again, welcome new members. Great job, Kisi, Roshni, Hassan, Amarjeet, some excellent sentences. Again, I can clearly see improvements in your writing, in your word choice, in your sentence structure, so keep it up. Preeti, I'm noticing improvements in your grammar, so I'm happy about that. That's definitely where you need to tighten it up a little bit, so it's good to see. Keep practicing, keep focusing on your grammar. New members, Adrian at aehelp.com. Send me an email there. And again, to all of our viewers, you can join our premium online IELTS package using our Black Friday coupon code. It's still available. Just use code BLKFDAY to get that 40% discount on our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for the general version. Now, in 30 minutes, viewers, members, I will have another class which will be a challenging reading passage with focus on list of headings questions. So if you're available in 30 minutes time, I look forward to seeing you. You're very, very welcome, Preeti, Amarjeet, Hassan. Have a great rest of your day and hopefully see you soon. Bye for now.